So another little update video. Mainly just added some things. I did change maybe three things differently, but it just replaced existing lighting. So I added some lights. My wife had actually got me a flag at a hobby shop and a J3 Cub airplane that I added to the layout. But the flag is one of the Just Plugs for the Just Plug lighting system that Woodland Scenics makes, and I don't have any of that. So I had to get a controller and power, and I didn't have to, but I did. And then I figured since I got that, it gave me an excuse to buy some more lights, and I'll show you where I added the lights here in a little bit. I removed two of my signals and put in signals that actually have signal blocking. I'll put a link in the description. I got them off eBay. They do way more than what I need to. The signals I used to have on there, they just had the IR beam where when the train broke the beam, LED turned red, train passes, beams back, LED goes green. So it wasn't very realistic looking. So I had two existing signals, removed one, replaced one, relocated the other one, added two more, and then I put some dummy block signals in the yard. They're just red. I didn't want to spend the money to actually have actual sensors in there because, I mean, the trains are pretty much just sitting in the yard not doing anything. Let me get some trains going here. There we go. So you'll probably see some of the lighting. You get 844 moving with the actual controller, so use it on my phone. Alright, so now I'll show what I've done with, I guess, the signal blocking first. Okay, so I got my sensor about 3 inches behind the signal, and that'll trigger it. And there's a couple different ways you can set up the card itself. You can do a time delay, or you can put multiple signals or sensors on the layout. I didn't want to do that. I just did one sensor, and I believe I have a 3-second delay on the red to the yellow, and then another 3-second delay on the yellow to the green. So once the sensor clears, starts the timer. And goes to green. And I got the one there. I had one there before, I just changed it to this newer system. And then I have one there right before the bridge into the tunnel. And they're all set on the same time delay. While I'm thinking about it, I'd mentioned in another video that when the road gets dirty for the bus, or the tires get dirty, it just sits there and slips on the incline, on that grade. Well, I actually found out what it was doing. Combination of things. One of them I really can't fix unless I can find some bigger tires. The front chassis scrapes a little bit where the magnet is mounted. But the other thing it was doing is the rear tires were actually slipping. The hubs were slipping on the rubber wheels. They don't fit real tight, so that they were spinning and the tires weren't grabbing. So I took some of the, a lot of you guys know about this stuff, the Scenics, the Woodland Scenics Accent Blue, and I put it on the hubs, put the tires back on, and it seems to have helped. So here's the other two I added. The one on the left is the full 3-color, and then the one by the grain elevator is just 2. The sensor's actually inside the covering. Same time delay on all the signals. I'll route the train through the grain elevator. There's that one. There's the 3 I added in the yard. And like I said, I don't have the actual sensors or the boards on them, just the lights. So, purely for aesthetics. So this is what started the Woodland Scenics Just Plug purchases. My wife got this for me at, oh my god, I can't remember the name of the shop. It was in Kansas City. And I wanted to hook it up the correct way, so I ended up buying the power supply and a little controller for it. And then that snowballed into some other lights, which actually turned out really well. So I don't know if I can show how well this looks on camera, but let me. So the light back here is one of them. It's the dual candelabra, I call them, because they look like the candelabras. So I added that one. I added an actual simulated wood pole light on the pier and by my trailer, and a couple more in the amusement park. I'll show those right quick. This is one of the wood pole lights added at my pumpkin patch. So there's the one added at the trailer. And then those are the 2 I added at the entrance to the amusement park. Yes, the one on the left is just a little bit brighter than the right one. It looks worse in the camera than it actually is. And the last one is also a wooden light pole added to the dock. And I think this is my, if I had to pick a favorite light on the layout, that would be my favorite light. Let's see what that looks like off. Almost forgot to show the little airplane my wife bought. There it is up there. The only thing I did to it was all yellow. I painted the tires. And of course put a piece of music wire through it so I can hang it. I am working on dirting up some cars and putting some graffiti decals on it. Maybe I'll show those at some point. I've never done weathering. I've never done anything to attempt weathering on any type of modeling, so I figured if I can at least make them look dirty. I have watched some YouTube videos. I have a thing for graffiti. I love graffiti. I don't paint it, I just love it. I like looking at real terrain graffiti. So just about, I'd say probably 60 to 65% of my cars are either purchased with graffiti on them from micro trains, or I put graffiti on them. Well, I think I'm going to end it here, have a beer, and play with my trains.